Ah, shut up. I'm listening to Zdenek's English podcast. You're listening to Zdenek's English podcast, by far the greatest English podcast on earth for English learners since sliced bread. My name is Zdenek and I'm your host. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zdenek from Zdenek's English podcast, and this is indeed Zdenek's English podcast, and you are indeed listening to another episode of Zdenek's English podcast. And this time I'm not alone. To be honest, usually I'm not alone on this podcast. I can't remember the last time I recorded an episode where it was just me. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I am joined by a good friend, Fufita. Hi, Fufita.
Hi, Janice. Nice to meet you.
Zdenek.
Zdenek.
Close enough. Your name is Fufita?
Yes, my name is Fup, but it's quite difficult to pronounce. So, Fufita is my nickname.
Your nickname. Okay,
yes.
Wonderful. And this is how I met you as well. Your name. You introduce yourself to me as Fufita, so I always call you Fufita. Yeah. So you are my Vietnamese friend, but some people say this is a Spanish name, Fufita.
Correct.
So why did you choose this nickname?
Because Fup is quite difficult to pronounce. That I explain. But Fufita is something like Spanish. Fufi is something close to the Fup. But ta is the ending sound for the woman in Spanish. For example, in Spanish you say Fufita for woman and
human. You mean human?
Yeah, human.
Okay.
And you say Fufito for man, something like that.
Fufita is a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Not human, woman. Woman.
Yeah.
I get it. It's actually quite cool. I think you also confuse a lot of people. But you are pure Vietnamese. You have no Spanish blood in you, or
yeah, correct.
You're only Vietnamese.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Did you take the DNA test? So
I even don't need to have the DNA test. My mom and my dad were born in Vietnam.
Okay, I believe you. Right. So you were one of the first people I met here in Vietnam. So it's really cool to know you. Mm-hmm. And also you joined the board games. What's that, Fufita?
I don't know.
We should explain we are outside and there are a lot of background noises. I thought it would be cool to record it in this place. We are close to the sea, we're close to the street. Also there is a little bar here. So we are getting lots of background noises, and I was wondering if you could tell me what that one was.
I think that's maybe there are some people are selling something on the street. Maybe the street food and
street food.
So they use the speaker so that they don't have to.
Bam Bao Day.
Yeah, Bánh Bao Day.
Bam Bao Day. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I always hear it like late into the night. Bam Bao Day.
Correct.
My windows are closed and I can still hear it. Bam Bao Day.
You know, when I was a child, and bánh bao is the only thing that they sell at night time.
What is it?
This is something like the dumpling.
Dumplings.
Inside they have the meat, the egg, and some mushroom, and they mix together.
Okay.
And then they outside is the powder, and then they boil it, and not boil, just the steam.
They steam it.
And then it was sold at night time.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that a lot of my listeners will not probably realize that they sell it on their motorbike, and the whole thing, the thing they cook it in is on their motorbike.
Yeah.
And they have to. So it's like what do they have? Like
they have something like the wood.
Wood, yeah.
Yeah, the wood.
Charcoal.
Yeah.
They have charcoal. They have charcoal, and it's on their motorbike, so they have to keep adding wood.
Yes.
To keep the fire going.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here in Vietnam do a lot of things on motorbike. Unimaginable things. You cannot imagine. Like today I went to Hoi An, which is a city not far from Da Nang.
Yes.
And there was a woman riding her motorbike, and she had 3 dogs.
3 dogs?
3 dogs on her motorbike.
Oh.
I don't know how she managed that, but it was unbelievable. So
Yeah.
sometimes people are on a motorbike and they have their shop on the
Yeah.
motorbike. It's their shop, so you can like see what you can buy it.
So
And
what
they-
did you see on the shop? Something like street food or
Street food. Sometimes it's street food. Sometimes they sell
Yeah.
like sunglasses.
sunglasses? Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
things like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen this I've never seen this anywhere else. Really. It's because this is my first time in Asia as well, as you
Correct.
know. So. Just a little update. I have been in Asia for about 3.5 months now. So far, so good. I'm in Da Nang, which is it's a wonderful coastal city. And you are from Da Nang, Fufita, aren't you?
Yes, I am from Da Nang. I was born in Da Nang. And I'm 100% Vietnamese.
You don't have to. Yeah, we trust you now. Yeah. Maybe I will ask you one more time. But
All right.
Yeah, no, we believe you. And so you have spent your entire life in Da Nang.
Yeah.
But that's about to change, and we will get to that later.
Yes.
This is like, you know how you say, how you want to tease your listeners, and you say this will come after the ad. But I don't have any ads on Zdenek's English podcast. The only ad I have is the ad that I come up with, which is the ad for the Achievers Chamber, which is a fantastic Discord group which you guys can join in order to improve your English.
Yeah.
It's for high-level learners. There are a lot of speaking activities. We have got more teachers. It's not just me teaching there.
Hi, I am Serkan. I like the Achievers Chamber because it helps you practice whenever you want.
For more information about the Achievers Chamber, go to teachersdenek.com. We will speak about you going to, spoiler alert, Australia
Correct.
later, because first I want to also mention the board games,
Yeah.
which I already mentioned, but we
Yeah.
went off the topic,
Yeah.
as always happens here on this podcast. So the board games. So you were quite keen to join the board games club that I was trying to build here, create here.
Yeah.
And you started playing with us, and you like the games, yeah?
I really like board game, it can help me to understand more about the people. It can also be a good place for me to practice my English.
Yeah.
Actually, I really like to have some great activities, like some game like that, so that we not only to play, but we try to we learn how to negotiate. We can learn how to
lie.
debate,
We learn how to lie, because in some games you have to lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a game
Yes.
called Secret Hitler, which we played, also Werewolf.
Correct.
And you have to pretend that you are not the bad guy in that game. Yeah.
Correct. And it's very good in the future if
You wanna become a liar? Are you telling me you wanna become a professional
no, of course,
liar?
No,
Okay.
but it's very good at work. It's very good when you would like to be this part or the other part, and then it's good for your work
Or
anyway.
maybe you can read people better, because you will be able to recognize when they are lying and when they are not.
Correct.
Because you will have this fantastic experience.
Yeah.
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 And,
So that's the reason why teenagers should learn how to play those kind of
well,
games.
wait, hang on. You didn't tell us this. Are you a teenager?
I'm not teenager, but I wish if I were, I know the game when I were a teenager. I think it's better for me. Yeah.
You would be further now in your life. I see. Well, who knows? Maybe you would become not a nice person, right? Maybe now, because you didn't learn how to lie, maybe now you are a nicer person, right?
Yeah, but I just want to know how the people understand, how the people they behave, so I can understand more about the people.
Human psychology and all
Correct,
that.
correct.
No, there was even a point, Fufita, because you got really excited about the games, and I am excited about the games all the time. So I think we had an interesting plan at some point. Do you still remember it?
Plan?
We had this idea that we could open a board games cafe. Do you still remember it?
Yeah, I remember. Because, you know, I really like doing something for my own. I like open a small coffee shop where the people come and then they exchange something like exchange culture, or they would like to...
It's nice to have your own project and your own sort of business, right?
Yeah, a business, so that I can practice doing my business. And board game is something I really like. It's so new to me. Actually, it's new to me because in Vietnamese we rarely play board game. We just play something simply. But board game is something
simple, like for example, Uno. I know
Uno,
chess. Yeah.
Or so simple.
Monopoly, maybe. Yeah. Okay. For me, these are games like chess is a good game, but Uno and Monopoly not my games.
Yeah.
Not my type of games. But what was it that I wanted to talk to you about? Oh yeah, the
project.
Yeah. So we had a project. We were even planning it. We had a business meeting, and you started looking for a place we could rent. We were quite far into that.
Yeah.
But then I think there were several reasons we sort of backed off. I think both of us.
Yeah.
I think we realized maybe we bit off more than we could chew.
Yeah.
Which means maybe it was too much for us.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I had a few issues with several people.
Correct.
Because the group that I was trying to make here became too big too soon.
Yeah.
And I didn't manage it really well.
Yeah.
I made a few mistakes as well. And so that was my sort of realization that maybe it's too early for that. But you had a different reason. Yeah, tell us more about it now. Now, finally, we will learn that thing about Australia.
Oh, actually, I really want to open my own coffee shop. I look for the house, I look for a shop. I only found a very nice place and with the reasonable price, but the location is not really good.
Yeah.
So I have to change to another place. I changed to Châu Thị Vĩnh Tế area. This is the place where we have so many students who really want to do the English practice, and also who I want to introduce the board game to them. Unfortunately, we couldn't find the suitable house because the rent in that area is very expensive. Because this is the place where we have many expats and also many students. It's mixed together, and the rent cost is very high. And the other issue that I met with my company, I was in my pre-opening periods, so I was so stressful at my work. So
hang on, slow down. So you were working for a company in hospitality industry because that's where you come from. You're from hospitality.
Yeah.
You were a manager there or something.
Correct.
And you were working for a company, and you were in your trial period.
Correct.
I see. Okay.
So in the period, this is pre-opening. I need to set up many things, and I need to spend more time to my work.
Yeah.
So I think that it's too much for me. Also, not only to Zdenek, but I'm sorry.
Okay, don't worry.
Actually, I need to have to rent one staff, but after
Sorry.
I need to hire more staff to
hire more staff
to help me
for the board games.
Yeah. For
So
the
when
board game.
you started thinking about it more and more, and then you realized maybe not now.
Yeah, maybe not now.
Yeah.
I need whenever I want to open something, I need to spend more time on that. But it's not a really big time.
Because you couldn't give it your full unwavering attention.
Yeah.
So I think it was nice to dream about it though. Yeah.
Correct.
It was nice because I like this as a project as well, because I love games and an idea of like opening a board game cafe. And I knew I couldn't do it alone, so it was nice to know someone who is Vietnamese, who I know I can trust, because I got to know you quite well.
Yeah.
And I know I can trust you. Can I trust you?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Because now you have learned.
I am a trustee.
Trustworthy person.
Trustworthy.
But now you learned how to lie, so I'm not so sure,
Oh, but I understand you well. No worry about that.
Okay. I'm just joking, of course. I'm joking. But Fufita, you're still not telling us about Australia.
Oh, Australia.
So why did you decide? you are actually leaving Da Nang now.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So why?
You know,
this is such a nice place. There is a sea. The weather is beautiful.
Yeah, so nice.
You have learned how to lie now, so you have a new skill. You have a new skill that you could use in your life. Why did you now suddenly decide? I mean, to be honest, I think it's a great idea to go to another country. Always will broaden your horizons and open your mind. But I want to know your story. So why did you pick Australia? And what made you decide to go there? Because you are leaving next week, actually.
Yes, next week.
Yeah. That's why I'm quickly doing this podcast with you before you leave, and there is none of you here. So.
All right. So honestly, one of my friend, he is now in Australia, and there is some problem happened with my hospitality industry after the COVID-19, and it's quite tough time for us to get back the tourists. So we have passed a very difficult time in my job. One of my friends in Australia, he said that why didn't you come to Australia? It's give you more opportunity, and now many students from Australia, they came back to their countries. Now they are really in need of the work labor, and if you come there, you will have more advantages. For example, you have experience, and Australia is a very good country for the hospitality industry also. They pay good salary, and
better salary than here.
Yeah, of course.
But also,
better salary. It means that they can pay high, but the living cost there is very high too.
Of course, yeah.
So if I cannot make a comparison, because in Vietnam I can make less money than in Australia. However, for the cost of living, I'm very comfortable. Unfortunately, some projects in Vietnam is now pending due to the financial issue or due to the COVID-19, or there is some stock in the paper documents. So it happened to my company. So I decided to leave and to go to Australia because I am always a curious person. I want to learn more.
This is the best attitude to have. I mean, it's always going to stand you in a good stead, right?
Correct.
So I absolutely support this idea, but I'm also a little bit sad because we are going to lose a player, a good friend. And it's a shame. Yeah. So I hope you come back.
Okay. Maybe you can come to Australia one day, because in Australia they really in need of the teacher.
Really?
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And,
I will think about it.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. But now I'm excited about Vietnam because such a nice place. Yeah.
Correct.
Such a nice place. Weather is beautiful and everything is great here.
Yeah.
So you're flying next week then?
Yes, my flight will be on the 14th of April.
On the 14th of April. Wow. Okay, so early. Okay. Do you think you will come back to visit your family, or
of course?
How often do you think you will come? Because every time this happens, we need to. If I'm still here, we will have to organize a party and something like that.
Yeah, I think that's once per year. I try to come back to Vietnam
once per year.
Once per year to visit my family.
So the next time you will be here is in 2024.
Yes, correct.
Come on, that's gonna take ages. You might have to play with us online or something. That's gonna take ages.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a bit sad, to be honest. Also, I need to thank you for the lovely cake that you bought me, because it was my birthday 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I was actually turning 40. Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
How old I am now. I was actually turning 40, and Fufita, she brought me a lovely cake. I thought I would be just meeting up with friends and we would just play board games. That was the plan. And then there was suddenly Fufita brought this huge box with a lovely fruit cake. So thank you for that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I just want to make you surprised.
Yeah, you really surprised me.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all. Yeah.
I know that you are so shy,
I'm shy, yeah.
but actually
Exactly.
I just want to create you something surprise just within a very small group in our board game club.
yeah,
So you will have something special on your birthday in Vietnam.
Exactly. And we also have a nice video of another friend of ours singing "Happy Birthday" to you, Zdenek.
Yeah.
So it was really cool, and yeah.
So happy birthday again.
Oh, thank you. How many more times am I gonna hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's always nice to be wished happy birthday, of course. If any of the listeners want to wish me happy birthday, you can still do so. You can just send me an email or anything like that. I'm joking. You don't have to do that, listeners. You can just listen. You can just listen to the podcast, and yeah, that's all you need to do, really. Okay. So, Fufita, what else can we tell our listeners? What else? So, are you excited? Let's go back to this Australian Australian trip then. So, it's going to be a work related experience, yeah. So you're going there to work.
You're correct.
And do you have a job yet, or are you going to find it there?
Actually, I came there by the student visa, and for the student visa, I can work 48 hours for 2 weeks. And because actually I need to go there, I need to find a sponsor company to have the working visa later. Yeah, so actually for the Vietnam, I just have the bachelor degree, but it's I need to learn again to work in Australia. I need to learn again because
You need to study again.
yeah,
Whoa.
to study again. I mean that my bachelor degree is about the language, but now I will
So hang
come
on.
to
So
work
your bachelor's degree is in English.
in English.
Because
my major in English.
this is part of the reason we get on so well, because the first time I met you, it was obvious to me that your English is is brilliant.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always happen here, because I have met a lot of people who speak English to a reasonable degree, but obviously it makes a huge difference if someone can speak like you.
Correct.
Yeah, because we can communicate. You are fluent. You can tell me everything you want to tell me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you studied English.
Yes, my major is English when I was in the universities.
Okay. Here in Da Nang, you studied here in Da Nang.
Yeah, in Da Nang. So if I would like to work in the hospitality industry in Australia, I need to learn about hospitality bachelor degree or
So are you? Hang on. So are you going to study tourism or something like that in Australia?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, you are.
I am going to attend in the cookery because
Cookery lessons.
cookery, and then I have a cookery certificate 3, 4, and then I can upgrade to the hospitality management.
Because
So
you have a lot of experience in management or with
Yeah.
management. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to start from the lowest level to higher level.
To make your way up.
Yeah, to make my way up. In Vietnam, I can start working in the hospitality without the degree because it's just the something like from the beginning, and
Yeah.
they teach me, and then I learn, and
Yeah.
then I can.
It's more practical.
More practical.
But in Australia there are sort of stricter requirements.
Correct.
Yeah.
The strict requirements, so I have to learn again.
Yeah.
So
Study.
this is
You
all
have to study again.
study again. So this is one of the reasons I want to go to Australia, because I want maybe my children in the future they can have the international degree.
International mother.
International like bachelor or something like that. So
Okay.
wherever they go, they can apply the job.
Nice. Wait.
easier.
So are you planning to have children in Australia? Because you mentioned
Maybe
children here.
now I am 30 something already, so I think that.
Okay, but now it's on the podcast. It's public. It's going to be public. So
Oh.
it will stress you. You will be stressed about that, because
Wow.
you can always go back and listen to this episode, and
Oh my God.
Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure about what you just said?
Oh,
You can still change it.
who knows?
You can say maybe,
Maybe.
possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah. Don't stress yourself too much. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's
Yeah.
usually better that way.
Yeah.
Right. So, are you excited about going to Australia?
Of
How are you
course.
feeling?
I feel a little. Normally, when I come to another country, I have something planned in advance. But in this time, nothing is playing in front except my study. So I really want to explore more,
Yeah.
and I want to see more. And of course, something interesting, but a little bit worried.
Are you a little bit nervous as well?
Nervous,
A little bit
nervous.
anxious? To be
Yeah.
honest, I was also a little bit anxious before I
Yeah.
came here, or before I went to England. It's part of it.
Yeah.
It's always there, right? You can't prevent it.
Yeah.
But what's important is that the excitement or the
Correct.
positive feelings
Yeah.
are stronger than the negative ones.
Correct. Correct.
When that's the case, everything will be fine.
Yeah, I have been here in Da Nang maybe 30 years already.
Yeah.
And
It's time for you to
Yeah, it's time for me
Step up
to
your game. You're gonna step up your game.
Yeah, I can live my life, my dreaming life. I can explore more. I have been to maybe 7 countries already.
Oh, really?
Yes, I traveled to China twice. Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore.
Yeah.
What else? And
Will this be the
and
furthest?
Malaysia.
Will this be the furthest you have been?
Yeah, this is the furthest that I have been, and in another continental too. Normally in the Asia or in the Asia countries, but
Yeah.
in this time Australian countries. So
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of things different. But I really like it, and I want to have a more adventure in my life.
Of course. No. This is a very good reason to go
Yeah.
somewhere, to have
Yeah.
some adventure.
Yeah.
So you really have to send us some photos, though.
Oh, okay, sure.
We will not kick you from the board games group. Yeah, you can stay there.
Yeah.
But you can also send us some photos.
No worry, I will give you updates on the group then. After I come to Australia, I will send you some photos.
Okay, excellent. So are you going to stay at your friend's place at first, or are you going there by yourself, completely by yourself?
I prefer to be by myself because I can feel more freedom.
But will your friend be near, or are you going to a different city? Or
Actually, I have 2 friends, one in the same city, the other in another city.
so I didn't ask you about the city yet. So where are you going? Are you going to the East Coast, where most of the cities are?
Yeah, actually, at the beginning, I prefer to stay in Melbourne. But
Okay.
later on, I found that Adelaide is also good too because it's close to Da Nang city where I'm living now. So at the beginning,
You
I
mean
think
it's the vibe of the city
The
is
vibe,
similar?
correct.
It's similar to Da Nang.
correct.
Adelaide, what's the name? Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Adelaide. Okay.
Yeah, because they are not too much busy. It's not too much busy. In Melbourne, it's in a big city.
Yeah.
It's something like in Ho Chi Minh City, and
Okay.
I prefer to have something.
Milder, like something
and close to nature,
less stressful. Yeah.
less stressful.
There's a lot of interesting nature in Australia for sure, right?
Yeah, so I want to start from that, from the small step first, and then I will explore the city. I will see, and
Yeah.
then maybe
It's-
in the
it's-
future.
It's probably a good idea, to be honest with you. I have been to Saigon, to Ho Chi Minh City once. I like this place more.
Oh, so happy!
It's too much, it's
this
too-
is my city.
Yeah, it's too busy for me. It's too noisy. It's polluted as well.
Yeah.
I have also been to Hoi An, which is the capital, and I felt the same, exactly the same. So
Yeah.
here it feels like a better place for life. Yeah, but
Yeah.
of course, the job opportunities are not as great as in these
Correct.
in these larger cities. So it's not all perfect. Let's say you can't have it. You can't have it all, right?
Yeah.
You can't have it all.
Life is a choice, so we need to choose this, and then we have to give another one.
Exactly.
So even this time, I really want to be close to my family, but 30 years is enough. Half of my life is close to my family, and the other half of my life, I prefer to live on my own.
So do you think? Can you guess how long you are going to be in Australia? Is your plan to stay there long term, or is it too early for you, or what in your mind? Because I remember the first time I went to England, I said to myself, I'm going there for 10 months, and it helped me. It helped me feel better about it because I said, 10 months is not too much, yeah. But then when the time was about to come, I knew I wanted to stay longer. Yeah, because they made a good offer to me as well in my job. They increased my salary. So I knew I wanted to stay longer. In the end, I stayed 1.5 years. This was before I studied university, so I was about 21 years old. Long time ago, yeah?
I think that's it's too early to say how long that I will stay there. But it depends on the weather, the people, the job, the weather,
okay.
Because here in Vietnam, in the winter we rarely have the -degree, but in Australia,
you mean it doesn't get cold here?
It doesn't get cold, but in Australia sometimes it's minus, and then let's see. I want to experience.
You will have
that.
to buy a jacket.
Yes,
don't buy it here, buy it there, buy it there.
Yeah, so I'm ready for the winter because
do you have gloves? Do you have a cap?
Yeah, I do. I prepare for myself. Even here, I have a summer. I already prepared.
Okay,
but,
that's so cool.
Yeah, I would like to experience the winter there.
Have you seen snow before?
I haven't.
Yeah, so I have met quite a few Vietnamese people here already.
Yeah.
Who tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
So this will be super cool for you. I think.
Yeah. So this is also good experience then.
Yeah. It's like for me, as for someone who hasn't been born in a country, who wasn't born in a country where they have sea. We don't have the sea. We are a landlocked country, the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
So for me, being by the sea is like this special thing that I always dreamt of. For you, it's snow. For you, it's snow. Like you haven't seen snow in your life. So
correct. And then I will see if I can adapt to the weathers or the working environments and the people there. And then I will see.
Do you think you will feel a bit homesick?
Homesick, of course, I will have.
Are you prepared?
I already prepared for that. But actually, I work I work somewhere in Phú Quốc or in Mũi Né. I live far from my house twice, and every time I stayed 2 years in the other cities. Yeah.
So you felt homesick.
Yeah.
So, but that's good because you already have experience with that, so now you know what to expect.
Yeah.
The only difference is that now you're going to be in a country far away, so in order to go back you have to pay for an expensive plane ticket.
Yeah.
That is the only difference. That's exactly how I feel here. So when I'm in England, I've lived in England twice, like long term, and I always knew I could come back at any point. I could go back to the Czech Republic at any point because the ticket is not so expensive and it's only 2 hours flight.
Yeah.
From the Czech Republic to London, 2 hours. But here it's different, right? It's
around 9 hours.
1,000 euros or something.
Yeah.
For the ticket right now.
Correct.
So it's just way too much. And
Way
just
too
one
much.
way. One way.
Yeah.
So
it means I have to earn a lot of money to come back to visit my family.
Exactly.
So I think that once per year is enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, fantastic, Fufita. So it's been lovely to talk to you, to have you on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this experience as well.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoy this podcast, and actually this is the first time I have interviewed by someone and made some podcast.
You did a great job, I think. I think you were quite natural. You were smiling, and this is exactly what we need on this podcast. It's also the first time for this podcast to feature a Vietnamese person. And I think that's cool as well.
Oh, so I hope that you will have more postcard, and then please share me. If you have some more Vietnamese, I want to hear what the Vietnamese talk about Vietnam and also the other countries.
But I'm
so curious.
But I have to be careful who I invite, So I invite you. You have a little bit of a Vietnamese accent, but your English is brilliant, Because I need my listeners to be exposed to quality English. And I think it's very useful to have different accents on the podcast. Absolutely great, in my opinion, because you can only improve as someone listening to English. and someone developing their listening skills. But if someone is very low level, that doesn't help, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice to have you on the podcast today. So thank you very much, Fufita. I wish you all the best. Good luck. Break a leg in Australia, and may all your wishes there come true.
Thank you, Zdenek.
And thank you for the cake again.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I wish you will have a very great time in our city. And maybe we will see it. It's other maybe one day.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
maybe in Australia.
One last question. Are you really 100% Vietnamese?
Yes, of course. I'm Vietnamese.
I'm just joking, of course.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.
See you, Fufita.
See you.
Thanks a lot for listening. For more information, go to Zdenek's English Podcast Facebook group or visit zdenek'senglishpodcast.podbean.com.